I'm so excited to start our word work this week because we have some fun words this week. This week, we're going to be learning about a type of word called, here's Max, he's here to help us today, a type of word called a homophone. Can everyone say homophone? A homophone is a super fun type of word, okay? And I have the definition here on our page. It says homophones are words that sound the same, but they have different meanings and different spellings. And so we're going to start to learn about words that sound exactly the same, but they have very different meanings. And so this book is going to help introduce some homophones to us. So our book today is called Can You Be a Bee? And so already we have two homophones, B and B. They sound exactly the same, but as you can see, they're spelled differently. And I know B-E-E means like the buzzing bee that goes around. And so let's take a look at some of our homophones in here. So we have a B and B. To be means to exist as something. And a bee is an insect. You cannot be a bee, but what can you do? So we know that a B-E-E is a bzz, bee. Our next set of homophones is C and C. To see means to look. You can see the sea. And a sea is a big body of water with salt in it. And so these two words don't mean the same thing, even though they sound the same. They are spelled differently with different meanings. Our next one is bury and bury. So to bury means to dig and cover. You can bury a berry. Just dig a hole and drop in a blueberry. So B-U-R-Y means to dig a hole and bury something, whereas B-E-E-R-Y means like the fruit, a berry. Flee and flee. To flee with double E's is to run away. You can flee from a flea, but it might be tough. A flea is almost too small to see. And so F-L-E-A is like that teeny tiny little insect that sometimes can get on our kitty cats, I hope not, Max, right? And can make them itch really badly. And then we have break and break. So to break, B-R-A-K-E, is to slow down or stop. So when you brake on your bike, you make it slow down. But B-R-E-A-K is a short pause or a rest. So you can brake your bike to take a break at the park. And then we have write and write. To write with a W is to make letters or numbers on paper. People write with either their right or left hand. Which hand do you use? I use my right. And so that was just a really quick overview of some homophones. We have flee and flee, berry, berry, and see, see. And we had write and write. So what I'm going to do now is introduce to you some of our spelling words, actually all of our spelling words, and then you're going to get a chance to practice them in Seesaw. So this week you have homophones. Now the tricky thing is you're going to have to listen for the definition of the words to spell them correctly on your spelling test. So our first set of homophones are here and here. So here, H-E-R-E, is like, hey, I'm over here. And so I gave us a little picture of like an arrow pointing to where someone might be there, right there. And then here with an E-A-R, you'll notice there our little word ear is inside of there. Here means that you can hear something. So I hear birds chirping. So even though these two words sound the same here and here, they have very different meanings and they're spelled differently. Our next one, homophone, is right and right. And this is the one we just saw in our book. So, for example, I put a check mark here to say, you got the answer right. Or W-R-I-T-E is, I love to write stories. So that's where we can write with a pencil. So we have write and write. Next, we have deer, deer. I saw a deer running in the woods. So that's E-E-R. And then D-E-A-R is, you should start letters with the word deer. So, dear Emily, so that's how we start our letters. The next one, we have plain and plain. Now, plane with a silent E at the end is a type that a plane that flies over our house that you can travel in. But then PLAIN with our AI digraph in there, that's something like I like plain yogurt or a plain bagel. It means it doesn't have much on it. It's a plain thing, right? I could say Max is a plain cat because he's just black and white. He doesn't have a lot of colors on him. And then lastly, we have eight and eight. So ATE is the past tense for eat. So I ate pizza last night. Or EIGHT is the number 8. And so this week we're going to be exploring homophones. Remember, homophone are two words that sound exactly the same, but they're spelled differently and they have different meanings. So in your Seesaw account today, you have your 10 new spelling words, and you're going to be doing an activity where you show me what each of our homophones mean, okay? So I'm really excited to keep exploring these really fun words with you this week. So I will see all of you tomorrow to continue to learn about homophones. Bye.